the one that I really love is Ace in the Hole.
Yeah.
The Billy Wilder and Kirk Douglas starring. Why is that one that you really recommend?
I think that one for me works so well and is one that stands out because not only was it explosive in the moment that it was made when it came out in the 1950s, and it was a critique of how stories were manipulated in the newspaper and how, you know, an aggressive newspaper person could really put a spin on things that would change the reader's perception about it. It was a sensation there. Some people called it ruthless and cynical in the day, in the moment when it came out. Others said, "Oh, like this is actually kind of an interesting look at the media." And it was an early look at the media. And then if you were to see that movie when it came out and then see it again 10 years later, it's the same story and it's still as impactful and it's still as timely as it was 10 years previous to that. Cut to 10 years later, 10 years later, 10 years later, now we're 60 whatever years removed from it. And it's more timely today than it was when it came out. This is a story that I think Billy Wilder, with his sharp eye and cunning wit and his ability to really shake things up in terms of the way stories like this were told, made a movie that I think we'll be watching in 20 years and going, yeah, the media is still something that we should question. I'm not,
right.
You know, if people say the words fake news to me, that is one of the ways that I shut down completely in conversation. Don't love that. But this movie isn't about fake news. It's about examining how stories are reported. And it's fascinating. And of course, Kirk Douglas, I mean, this is, for me, his greatest role.
Oh, he's fantastic in it. And I really like, I was listening to that podcast you did with Spike Lee, where about 5 years ago when he was promoting Chi-Rock, and you mentioned the book, and he goes, "Oh, I hope Ace in the Hole's in there," and you said, "Oh yeah, it is." And he mentioned, yes, he does. And The Face of the Crowd, you know, they're like a double feature.
Well, The Face of the Crowd is another one that could easily be put, you know, on this list. You know, there are so many films. When you asked me for a list the other day, I was like, well, you know, I'll send over the titles that I'm thinking of right this second. Right. It might be different today and might be different again tomorrow. But A Face in the Crowd absolutely is a movie that it should be essential viewing right now, given the last 4 years in the state of politics in the United States. This is a movie that, again, like Ace in the Hole, is timeless, is brilliant, and I think it boils down to the storytelling and how, when you're telling a really interesting and great story, no matter what the specifics of it are, if there's a universal message that can be taken away from that, that's when you have a timeless classic.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And how he found a way to make it somewhat funny, I don't know. Like, even off the top, when you see him with reading the newspaper in a car getting towed. I just, just unbelievable. Yeah,
well, Billy Wilder has, not only was he a great writer, but he was a great visual wit as well. And the movies, all his movies are just filled with amazing visuals. And that's why I think, again, they stand the test of time. Well-told stories that you can look at over and over again and always find something new.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. And if anyone wants to see Ace in the Hole, you can get it through the Criterion Collection, as it on both Blu-ray and DVD. It's unfortunately not on the streaming service, the Criterion Channel, but I'm sure it will make its way there eventually. Oh, yeah.